Otherwise, we're gonna be, yep. Thanks.
Oh, good
Right.
morning.
Good morning.
I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Broome County Industrial Development Agency Audit and Finance Committee meeting. First order of business is to accept the minutes from the May 15th, 2024 meeting. Everyone had a chance to review those, so we would like to post those for the record. Next on the agenda is public comment period. If anyone wishes to comment on things to the Audit and Finance Committee, please state your name, limit your comments to 5 minutes, and your address, please. Seeing none, we will close that portion. Next item is new business. Number 4, review, discussion, recommendation of a resolution authorizing the agency to establish on an interim basis a line of credit in an amount not to exceed $5 million with NBT Bank NA for the FAST grant award from Empire State Development to build a shovel-ready pad at 600 Main Street in the town of Union, Broome County, New York, which line of credit will be secured through the assignment of up to $5 million of the agency's investment portfolio, and designates the following individuals as authorized signatories on the aforementioned account: Stacy M. Duncan, Executive Director; Natalie Abadessa, Director of Operations; John M. Bernardo, Chairman, Board of Directors; and Daniel E. Crocker, Treasurer, Board of Directors. Stacy.
Okay, so this request is for the purpose of the redevelopment of the 600 Main Street site in the town of Union. We did successfully receive $11.3 million to do that redevelopment as planned. However, ESD funds are typically only available in arrears of the project completion. So we are in conversations with ESD about a potential draw down of those funds upon certain benchmarks and criterias. So the request is to set up a line to access funds. We would submit reimbursement and then pay down that, draw on that as needed based on the construction schedule once provided to us. This resolution is the first step needed to set up the line. And this was also similarly, just to give you, I guess, some example, this was how we did our DASNY grant to build this building. Actually, we set up the line, provided construction timelines, submitted reimbursement requests, and then kind of paid as we went. So we thought this would be the most efficient way to utilize access the grant funds to do this project. They have not been 100% told yes on the drawdown, so those conversations are still happening. Of course, I will come back to the board if there are any concerns on that. But this would be the first step in setting up the line, the resolution.
So you use it like a construction line.
Essentially, yep, essentially, yes.
Okay, you have 5 million, but the total amount is 11 million.
Yeah,
When would we be able to get the first draw?
that would be all determined based on our construction schedule and the schedule of the ESD. So I don't know if it'd be based on certain benchmarks that they would, progress benchmarks that they would want to see.
You're not gonna end up short where you're saying they're paying in arrears.
That's
After
typically
certain-
how a grant
certain
is
things are
awarded.
done. Well, I understand that, but. Okay, and so 5 million is less than half.
Right, so our thought process would be we would submit a reimbursement as we go.
It'll be milestones.
Yes,
presumably.
exactly.
We would negotiate
Yes,
milestones,
exactly.
and then once they're documented, then we'll wait
Then we
some
would-
period of time, we
yes.
process, presumably there's a timeline. And so once we have that negotiated,
Yeah.
maybe to Mike's point, it'd be helpful to have a cash flow, just map it
Yeah,
out. Say,
absolutely.
Yeah.
We
We
think
can
the
do that.
project's gonna take 9
Fine,
to
yeah.
12
Think you
months.
might need
I
to be a
think
little.
You think we might need
you ought to
more?
know ahead of time. That's all
Okay.
I'm saying.
Okay, we can do a cash
But
flow.
at this point, you're saying it's a ballpark of what we think.
So you're
based on
just,
his
okay, you're
history.
guessing
Yeah.
that. I don't have a problem with
Sure,
the
yeah,
whole
no,
setup.
understood.
Okay,
And it seems fair that they ought to agree to milestones, because $11.3 million is
Yeah,
pretty significant amount.
yeah,
Yeah.
and those,
Frankly, we don't have the bonds to support that
No.
level of line of credit.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay,
so should the, yeah, so that would, yeah, that was a sort of an estimate that we made internally on what we thought would be reasonable to do a kind of pay-as-you-go process, but to Mike's point, I mean, once we have a more firm construction timeline, when those significant draws will be made, you know, we can always come
Okay.
back with a recommendation if we do think we need to
if you're
increase that.
confident that they're gonna be workable with the whole thing, then I don't have to.
I mean, and this is for the fill and stuff,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Mhm.
so I mean, $5 million should go quite a ways.
You would think.
You would think. Nice sandbox. up there.
Right?
Is interest expense on our
It
financing
would take 11 million.
satisfactory expense under the grant or not?
I'm sorry.
Will the
David.
interest expense be a satisfactory expense of the project that we can get reimbursed for?
I will confirm that. I don't know the answer to that now, but we will ask that question. That's a good question to ask
So you mean, can that,
on the
is that
line.
part of that 11
Right,
point?
interest
And I'm
expense
trying
is
to
part of the
recall.
project financing.
Yeah, got it.
Trying to
Project
recall
cost.
from when we did the
That's a good
building. I
question.
don't
It
know
ought
the
to be.
answer. Okay, I will, that's a very
Yeah,
good point.
And then it,
I will make a motion, we accept that.
Motion second,
Yeah, I'll second.
all in favor to move it forward to the full board?
Aye.
all right,
Opposed? Right. Next item on the business review, discussion, recommendation of a resolution authorizing the agency to provide a matching grant in the amount of $25,000 to the Broome County Department of Planning and Economic Development to be used to help Broome County and Tioga County create an arts and culture strategic master plan. Updating the 2009 Susquehanna Heritage Area Management Plan, identifying and quantifying the region's creative and historical assets, analyzing the economic impacts of arts and culture, and developing specific recommendations to activities to leverage those assets. Stacy?
Yes, so this is a request to provide some financial support and be included as matching funds for a consolidated funding application or CFA grant that is being submitted at the end of this month by Broome County Department of Planning and Economic Development. Dan outlined some of the key goals of this to identify and quantify the region's creative historical assets, analyze economic impact of the arts and culture, and create specific recommendations on how to leverage those assets to further advance economic impact. We felt this was a reasonable request and good for us to participate. If you recall, when we started to outline some of the blueprint priorities, this actually a plan such as this was identified under the placemaking priority, that having the data of the understanding the impact of arts and cultural assets in our community would be an important benchmark and tool for us to promote the quality of life, to promote and support more activity in the arts and cultural space, and kind of build that creative economy. So we are requesting $25,000 that would come out of funds that we had set aside during last year's budget to be considered for support of these types of initiatives. If there's any questions. So the county would be, if awarded, the recipient, and we would work, and Judy Hess on our Visit Binghamton side is working closely with them on this initiative.
and then they would market it, or we would.
They would be the recipient, but we would be involved in developing the strategic plan that would come with recommendations on how to better market the county from an arts and cultural.
So they spend the money rather than individuals coming with proposals on how to spend the money.
Right.
The county.
And then we only have like a quarter stake in the whole
Yes.
thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they work with Tioga, how'd they end up with that, working with Tioga County? They do the same thing?
Yeah, so this is just
Yeah,
a partnership, I think, between the Tioga County Planning and Economic Development, just looking at, if you look at the metropolitan statistical area for Binghamton, it's actually Broome and Tioga County, so there's a lot of synergy. And a nice collaboration, cross-county collaboration as well. So we would have a seat, certainly a seat at the table on this plan. But also it would be a great tool for us to understand that economic impact and to promote more on the quality of life assets for the region or the community.
Good, look for a motion to move it forward.
So move.
Second,
Second.
in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
That's all I got.
Any old business? Motion for adjournment is now in order.
So move.
Yeah, again.
Okay. And then we go to Joe.
Go that fast, too.